This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Thursday edition of a numbers game here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Matt Brown in for Gil. One more day. I'm out of here tomorrow. They kick me out.
You're out of here. Get out of here, Brown.
I'm only good for 4 days here.
That's right. You're only good for 4 days. Dustin Sweetelson in tomorrow.
Kelly Bidlin alongside as always. We got a golf tournament going on. We'll let you know how that is. Look at the leaderboard and you're kind of like, oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Maybe there was a misread on this one a little bit here, but again, we'll see.
Long tournament. Of golf to go.
I was going to say, long tournament. Things can happen for sure. Zach Cohen going to join us. We'll get his thoughts on everything going on out there in the sports world. Of course, part of the college football betting guide that we have coming out next week.
That's right, man.
See what he has to say about that.
Big 12 and Heisman Trophy, so we'll talk to him about both those.
Maybe a Lebron take. Mm-hmm. You know, see what he thinks. See what he says about that. Ryan McIntyre from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network going to join us to talk some college football as well. But Kelly Bidlin, we do wonder about last night and if that was the final straw. So the Detroit Tigers led 7-0.
How fun was this?
Through 6 innings. And Tarek Skubal's out there. He's, in what may or may not have been his last start as a Tiger. That being said, cruising. They win this game. Maybe they make a certain decision. Maybe they decide that they're going to go for it.
All we know is it's the Game 7 of all Game 7s.
Yes. And so we look at this and we're like, okay, 7-0. Tiger's going to have a decision to make when it comes here, on Monday. Then we blink, and the next thing you know, this thing is going to extra innings as the Orioles come all the way back. And not only do they come all the way back, they win it in 12 innings, 10-9 over the Tigers. They hung 5 on them in the 7th. And then you look at this, it wasn't even their home runs. It was just stringing together hits for this Orioles team left and right. And then now you take this and you go, okay, this team has now failed to seize the opportunity in front of them in a very weak division. You have the blue chip of all blue chip trade chips that you've got in your corner right now.
Yep.
I think this might have been it. And I mean, again, it's not like they're out of it, Kelly. It's not like they're dead. Mm-hmm. But you lose a 7-run lead with your dude on the hill after he was dealing pretty well. By the way, we're not even talking about the Orioles. The Orioles actually have a better record than the Tigers. Like the Orioles actually, because they're in the division that they're in.
I got a win total over bet on him.
Yeah, but
Did I tell you on that?
From the beginning of the season. But it's just funny because we don't even talk about the Orioles. If the Orioles were in the Central or the West,
right, we'd be talking about
it. It'd be like a huge conversation. But Orioles get it done, and I wonder what you think. If you're watching this and you are a front office person there in Detroit, you're up 7-0. Your guy was dealing. Your bullpen goes out and lets his lead go away. Not only goes away, you lose the game. Mm-hmm. Is that it? Are you shopping him? Are you going to pull the plug? Or you got to get something in return?
I mean, yeah, but it's probably more of the what is Tarek Skubal thinking about that, right? Is this just get me out of town sort of game, right?
That's true. And I mean, remember, Kelly, this got steamed something fierce. If you were on the Orioles, like you got paid I think it was plus 170 by the time this thing closed or something.
Sounds about right. We saw when we were on the air, by the time we got off the air, it was like minus 190 in most places. So I don't even know where it ended up closing at, but we watched this steam 20, 25 cents during the show yesterday. I don't know. I mean, good on Tarek Skubal that he hasn't been wildly outspoken, on his feelings and really. It sounds like he's kind of handled this all very well, including speaking last night quickly. But yeah, I mean, look, it's now been a season where he's seen it go every which way, right? This is offense spots you 7 runs. Like, fine. Drew Anderson and a couple of these bullpen guys, Kyle Finnegan and others, are not going to be very popular, I think, in the Detroit Tigers locker room today.
Just unbelievable.
We've seen it early in the year where he was struggling to get run support, right? It's like, okay, now you get the runs, the bullpen falls apart. It's got to become frustrating for him at some point.
How about another blown lead from a team that has somebody that is outspoken? The Philadelphia Phillies were up 6-0 through 5 innings. And then they lose to the Marlins 8-6. Philadelphia now 57-52. The Marlins, after that giant losing streak, now back over 500. They're 55-54 on the season. Jesus Luzardo was great for them. 6 1/3. Was actually cruising for the vast majority of this game, Kelly. And then again, here we go. Bullpens come in, blow games. You got Bryce Harper saying we need help. He was talking about a bat, but you look at this bullpen now, a couple days in a row has not been able to hold leads and stuff. And so here they are, Marlins. And by the way, almost left for dead, this Marlins team. And here they are, a couple wins in a row, big wins in a row, and now they're back over 500.
Yep. Yeah, it's just wild, man. We're going to talk some yes-no playoffs later in the show. Just the log jam of these teams is crazy.
It's hilarious.
It's really wild. So what do you got? 6.5 back now, or the Phillies have lost 9 of 12, man. Yeah, this is bad. And we'll see if they go do something. You think they would? Because it's another National League that, okay, you got Dodgers, you got Brewers up top, but like who's the next threat, right? Yeah. I think that's open for discussion. Phillies could work their way into that mix.
Diamondbacks 3-0 over the Pirates. They shut them down. Eduardo Rodriguez continues to just baffle. We always say that this game there is variance in baseball, Kelly, and just because there is variance, it does not mean that regression has to happen this season even. So Eduardo Rodriguez goes out and just absolutely shuts down this Pirates offense. Eduardo Rodriguez, of 26 qualifying pitchers that have a sub 350 ERA, he is 24th or worse in every single category that there is. Walk rate, strikeout rate, expected ERA, all the different things like that, yet he is dancing through the raindrops. The regression monster will not come for Eduardo Rodriguez, at least not yet. 3-0 Diamondbacks over the Pirates, and here we are again. We keep talking about this log jam, and you said we will mention all of these a little bit later. 57-52 for this Arizona Diamondbacks team. What are they going to do at the trade deadline? How do they view their real chances in all of this? Because, again, this is now coming to the point where it's not necessarily whether you think you're in the mix or not. You're definitely in the mix.
Right.
It's, do you think you actually have what it takes to get something done? So are you going to sacrifice what might happen next year or the year after that to try to chase something this year? And they're going to be squarely in that decision with this win here. 5 games over 500. I mean, they are in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's season ends today. They're a wild card team, right? It is Cubs, Diamondbacks, Phillies, and then, man, you have got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams within 2.5 games back of that last wild card spot.
Just unreal. Jared Jones, it was a good start for the Pirates. Just again, they just couldn't hit Eduardo Rodriguez, so it just kind of is what it is there. Doubleheader yesterday between the Mets and the Braves. The Mets take game 1, 3-2 of that doubleheader. In game number 2, 1-0 Braves over the Mets, and it was quite the pitcher's duel. Chris Sale, Christian Scott going at it. Chris Sale, 6 innings, 2 hits, no walks, 9 Ks for him. Christian Scott, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, 7 Ks for him. Both of them go just shy of 100 pitches. The only run scored in the 6th inning, Matt Olson drove in a run there for this Braves team, and that was all that they needed. Atlanta combined for the shutout here with Sale going 6 and then 3 different pitchers going an inning apiece. So Braves continue to just my biggest whiff of the offseason was this Braves team. I thought they were going to be a little over 500. I didn't think they had what it takes, but health has been at least somewhat on their side so far, mainly from a Chris Sale standpoint. Yeah. He continues to go out there and deal every time, and all they needed was 1 run, Kelly. One run.
I don't think you were by yourself, right? I felt like they were a common fade team, popular fade team before the season started, and Braves playing great ball.
Giants 16, Brewers 3. I went and checked my account this morning, and when you play an over in a game and it doubles, you still only get paid for one unit. Like you don't get double. So that's it. So
try the prediction markets. Maybe it'll work there.
We did go 1-0 yesterday. This was the only bet in the account. The over 7.5 definitely got there. As 19 runs were scored here in this game.
Hey, good thing you played the game over and not my question about the Brewers team total.
Yes. Good stuff.
That would have been a terrible L.
Good stuff there with that one. Milwaukee was tied for the best record in baseball. That is no longer, as they take the L here, and we'll get to the Dodgers in just a bit. Padres 3-1 over the Rockies. So now, again, 2 games over 500. Mason Miller, one of the super popular names that people keep talking about over and over and over and over again. Is he going to get moved? Can you deal him? What are you going to do with San Diego? They are 2 games over 500. They are absolutely in the mix of everything. Can they possibly sit in a room and decide that they're going to be sellers, especially with the very best closer in all of baseball.
Yeah. I mean, is the difference here with how the teams will be deciding this stuff, Matt, is just the American League feels more open than the National League?
I think
so. Like the Padres could still make a move like that, and it could be justified a little bit.
Yes, I think that it's one of the deals where I think it's easier for an NL team to punt on the season, even if they're in the middle of it, because they can just go, look how good the Brewers and Dodgers are.
Right.
And even the Braves. You maybe throw the Braves in there as well.
Yeah.
You just go, look how good those three teams are. Come on, we can't really do this. So you might be able to get away with it if you're the Padres and not lose the fan base. On the American League side, I think it's pretty tough.
Right, yeah.
Because there isn't a single team that anybody is scared of in the American League.
Yeah, you just want, because it's you could also, I mean, you could keep Mason Miller. You could keep Mason Miller and still miss out on the playoffs. You know what I mean? And then that's kind of a lose-lose situation. So I think it's going to be interesting how the different leagues handle this going down the stretch here.
Rays 3-0 shutout of the Rangers. Mackenzie Gore, 7 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs. He only gave up 3 hits, Kelly, for the Rangers. The problem was 2 of those 3 hits left the yard. And so when that happens, that's how you end up losing.
Shucks.
Yeah, that's how you end up losing 3-0 games. I only gave up 3 hits, but 2 of them were dingers. And so unfortunate start there for Mackenzie Gore. And again, Tampa continues to win. They just 63-44. Great season going on for them. Texas seems like a theme here. They're 55-53. So there's another team 2 games over 500. We'll continue to wrap up what happened last night in Major League Baseball, try to paint a picture here, what we think might happen moving forward and what we think might happen come Monday, and get into one bet. Just another one bet for me today, Kelly. Don't love the slate, but hey, if we go 1-0 and keep going 1-0, we can make a bunch of money.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
On the next edition of Follow the Money, Brooks Austin on the program does a great job breaking down film in college football. We'll talk to him about the upcoming season. Adam Chernoff, longtime friend of the show, on the program with some NFL futures. And Paul Stone with his best bets in the Big Ten. Follow the Money, 4 to 7 Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, now on SiriusXM Channel 158. Check out the website for all of our betting tools and analysis, or get the VSiN Watch app.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Thursday edition of A Numbers Game here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Appreciate you guys being with us. Series Channel 150. I always get tripped up when I see that old picture of you when it comes up. When I see that old picture of
Kelly.
You. Yeah, that version of Kelly ate this version of Kelly. But yes, it's so funny. And that we have not
changed one of these days.
And the fact that we have not updated it is just like is even more egregious.
Hey, it's costs a lot to get cameras out here. Okay, we don't have them anywhere.
Sitting right in here. Anyway, Series Channel 158. We got the VSiN Watch app. Of course, we've got YouTube TV and terrestrial stations across this great country of ours. Guardians 6, Reds 1. So Guardians now 2 games over 500. We're just going to keep it this thing. Everybody's 2 games over 500. The Guardians are 2 games over 500. It does make me wonder what the Reds might do, though, because they are probably a pretty long road back for them considering the logjam ahead of them. Even though they are only 7 games under 500, you would basically need 6 other teams to kind of lose it.
Yeah, they are 6 back from the last wild card spot, and there are 5 teams between them and the Phillies and Diamondbacks.
So it does make me wonder what they might do. This is the 3rd year in a row where everyone has talked about how this Reds team has all this potential and all this upside, and then it has not lived up to expectations. So do you try to move any of these pieces to get something back and just shake things up a tad? We'll see. Again, all of this going down on Monday. The White Sox 6, the Yankees 5 in 12 innings. It was a good start for Cam Schlittler, by the way. 6 1/3, only 2 hits allowed, 1 walk and 8 Ks. They pull him after 93 pitches. Great start for Cam Schlittler, but then bullpen comes in, can't get it done. And with this, you got this White Sox team sitting there 56 and 51 in a division that we just said is not very good, yet they continue to go out and figure out ways to win, where all these other teams continue to just go win, 2 losses, 2 wins, a loss, win. At least the White Sox are being somewhat consistent with all of this. And so that plus money on the White Sox yesterday does cash, even though they did get a very good start, they being the Yankees, out of Cam Schlittler.
I feel like I watched every game I turned into a just comeback win out of nowhere. I mean, it was Schlittler was dominating. That was a great pitching performance. Yankees were up, 4-0? The White Sox started to come back. Man, I thought he looked good, but then, like you said, White Sox just not going away.
Not going away for sure. Cardinals 3-2 over the Cubs in extras out of a comeback. I mean, this is another 3 or 4 different extra inning games yesterday. By the way, this was scoreless into the 10th inning, this game. Scoreless into the 10th. The Cubs get 2 in the top of the 10th, but then give up 3 in the bottom of the 10th to lose the game. So this is how baseball went yesterday. Baseball was weird yesterday.
Yeah, that's tough to do, man.
Yes, absolutely.
That is tough to do. Have to come back from multiple runs in extra innings.
Of note, because we've talked about the MVP market and all the different stuff like that, they did get the 2 runs in the top of the 10th via a 2-run home run by Pete Crow Armstrong. So that is of note there.
Absolutely.
He continues to take all these really good at bats. I mean, this is a guy that a lot of swing and miss last year in the second half, but playing some good at bats, but it does not matter as they lose that one. Astros 7, Angels 4, and now we look up, and here we are. This Astros team is now they're at 500. They've won a bunch of games in a row, 8 out of the last 9, and now they're at 500. They are a team that people were wondering, could they possibly be sellers literally as early as a week and a half ago? And now they win 8 and 9. They're back to 500, and the narrative is completely flipped. Are they going to be buyers?
Right. Yeah. 1 game out now of the wild card race. 1 game out behind the Guardians in the wild card race. It is wild to see this Red Sox run, man. Just like just them leap up the standings, right? I mean, they are the 2nd wild card team right now behind the Yankees. But yeah, Stros absolutely in the mix.
We said no longer the best record in baseball. It's a tie between the Brewers and Dodgers. Because the Dodgers do win yesterday, 4-2. Over the Mariners. Maybe the bigger story here is that Eric Lauer continues to pitch well for this Dodger team. I think it is 5th quality start out of 6 for him. Again, this is a pitching staff that's kind of been decimated and has some help on the way, but yet they continue to get it done with some of these guys that are fill-ins. And then the only other thing of note here, Edwin Diaz, their big closer, did come off of the IL. He was on the 60-day IL, comes in, gets the save. Now, it wasn't a clean save. He gives up a run. But you do have Edwin Diaz now back in that bullpen for this Dodgers team that we said continues to get a little bit healthier, continues to get a little bit healthier. You're going to get all of these guys coming back. Eventually, Shohei will pitch. Eventually, Snell will be back. Eventually, Glass. Like, there will be help on the way for the team that already has the best record in baseball.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like Kike Hernandez, too, right? It was coming back. Man, I was reading up on some of that yesterday. It is amazing just the wave of reinforcements that they still have left to come back.
Oh, yeah, it was multiple. Because the Red Sox won in extra innings. They win 4-2 in 10 innings. So, yeah, there was a ton of extra inning games.
I think it was 4, right?
Yes, yesterday. Unfortunately, the move is official on the Curtis Meade thing. He's going to miss, doesn't need surgery, but is going to miss like 6 to 8 weeks, which is basically the whole rest of the regular season. So maybe he could be back for the playoffs for the Red Sox, but they make that move, breaks his wrist. Fortunately, doesn't need surgery, but is going to miss the rest of the regular season.
Sucks. Yeah, it sucks for everybody involved.
No good with all of that. All right, guys. I like the White Sox today against the Yankees, and this is one of those where, Kelly, I'm trying to look at not only the full body of work but also recency, and you get both here with Sean Burke. If you look at Sean Burke, over the course of the season, he's got a 3.2 ERA that is actually backed up by a 3.16 expected ERA, but then you look over the last 5 starts, a 1.74 ERA. Last 3 starts, a 1.37 ERA, both of those backed up by a 2.02 and a 2 flat expected. We are seeing a sub-1 whip over the last month or so of starts for Sean Burke, and the biggest thing that I think has helped with his success is the spike in strikeouts for him. 27.6% over the course of the season. Over the last 5 starts, 36%. He's striking out more than 1 every 3 guys that walks into the batter's box over his last 5 starts. And by the way, not putting anybody on for free. He's doing this while only walking 4% of guys. And so Sean Burke kind of coming out of nowhere. Certainly nobody saw, if you were talking about, best pitchers in baseball and most consistent pitchers in baseball, before the season started, Sean Burke would never make anybody's list, but he has been. And I really like him going up against this depleted Yankees lineup today. And it's a pretty cheap price, like -111 when I got it. I think it's like -114.
I was going to say, starting to move your way a little bit more, but not too bad. Yeah, -115 about tops out there.
So I really do like this here. Going up against Ryan Weathers, who's kind of going in the opposite direction of what Burke is doing. His season-long stuff is better than his most recent stuff. Recent stuff has actually been worse for him. So I think that this White Sox team's been hitting the ball pretty continuously, is going to be able to get to this Yankee squad. So do like that one. And again, it's like basically a coin flip. Basically a coin flip price out there on that one. See if we can't close out with another winner, Kelly. That would be fun. Y'all can just make fun of me if I lose it tomorrow.
There you go, man.
What if you lose? Full disclosure. You can just make fun of me if
don't worry, we will.
Yeah, if I lose.
Even if you lose, you're still up for the week, right?
Yeah. We did good. It was a good week. 20 leagues, 1 mission. Just Win Bets, baby. Your premier source for daily fantasies, for daily sports betting picks over there. They break down the data so you can bet with confidence across the entire sports calendar. If you're watching us on the screen, you can click the QR code. And if you're driving along, just remember justwinbetsbaby.com whenever you safely park your car and you were able to go to a browser, because do not do this while you're driving down the road.
Yeah, no,
I'm not going to be responsible for any Just Win Bets Baby accidents that are out there.
Please don't. Yeah. And try scanning the QR code. That might work better.
Yes, we're not going to do any of that. So justwinbetsbaby.com, the name says it all. Kelly, there were multiple little knick-knacky things out there in baseball as well. Logan O'Hoppe and Chase Silseth were traded to Texas. So the Rangers, kind of the first of the mini buyers. Again, this is not a massive, move by any stretch of the imagination, but, we're starting to see some stuff trickle in here. So the Rangers make a little bit of a transition.
You think it's going to be a lot like these, right? A lot of moves like these, right?
That's what I kind of think, but again, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe some of these teams are deciding this morning that, we don't have what it takes. We're gonna sell. We talked about Byron Buxton leaving that game 2 days ago, but the Twins are in the mix.
Yep.
Well, Twins fans, I know you hate to hear this. Buxton on the IL again, so he does officially head to the injured list. So he is going to be on the IL with that hip injury. Hip injury for a dude that runs bases and does things, plays the alpha. Doesn't sound great.
Yeah, not ideal.
That doesn't sound great to me. So
game and a half back on the Twins out of that wild card race.
See that. We talked about Blake Snell coming back for this Dodgers team, Kelly. He had a rehab start yesterday in which he threw 60 pitches and struck out 9 batters. That's really good, if you were wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, granted, they're
trying to math that real quick. Yeah, pretty good.
Granted, they're minor leaguers, but yeah, really good there for that. O'Neal Cruz, if you're looking for if you have any of those Pirates tickets, like this guy does, he's cleared for baseball activities, so he will be back in that lineup here, sometime over the next month. They need a bat. That's kind of almost like a almost like a trade deadline transaction here because he's coming in. Jake Irvin, by the way, gets activated. He's going to start today for the Nationals. He's been out for over 2 months with a strain, so we'll see how he looks and just how long they let him go. We mentioned the Rocket Classic is going out there. We'll give you an update and see if there's anything that we can be sweating. Might be a gettable course, but maybe not. Who knows? It doesn't look like everybody's getting after
First round leader sweats. Let's go.
Biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime.
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup, then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network. VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Matt and Kelly here on a Thursday as we look over to the scoreboard here, the Rocket Classic. It seems like if you at first glance that you would be like, oh, they're tearing this course up, but it's actually not necessarily the case. I mean, they just showed, the hottest guy on tour here, and Jackson Coyven, he's only 2 under. Xander's only 1 under. I mean, it's not like everybody's out there just lighting this thing on fire.
Yeah, it's. I'm interested to see how the day plays out. It also looks like a lot windier out there than I thought it was going to be, or what I saw in the forecast at least last night when I fired on some first round leader bets. So yeah, we'll see. Peter Malnati right now is your low man out there. 8 under par through 12 with the bucket hat and the yellow ball and everything. And I know Dave Ross would share our sentiments too, that we don't like seeing that combination. I don't like seeing that combination, I'll say it. And the long sleeves. He's got everything. He's peacocking all over the place.
That's the thing. There's a little bit, just a tiny bit too much of look at me.
Look at me. I matter too. I know I'm not Scotty Scheffler, but I matter too.
There's just a little bit too much look at me going on. That being said, he has a clean card currently, and he's got 8 birdies on it. So
yeah, he's playing very well. I've seen him sink a couple long putts. Keegan Bradley in solo second right now. I do have a first round leader bet on him at 66-1 up at VSiN.com yesterday. I don't think he's going to get there. There's still an afternoon wave to go, and he's 3 shots back of Peter Malnati in the morning wave. Okay, at 4 under, Michael Kim, Chris Kirk, Ricky Fowler, Gordon Sargent, and then we drop to a big group at 3 under, including Emiliano Grillo, who I bet first round leader as well. He's got a lot of work to do. 80-1 bet, but that's a lot of work there. Tony Finau, who apparently only plays well in the Midwest these days, he should just move up there.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Ricky Castillo, 3 under. Davis Riley, 3 under. Matt Kuchar, 3 under. Kevin Yu, 3 under. And Steven Jagerbaum's 3 under par as well.
I'm trying to find
updated live odds. Well, you find whatever you need to find. Cameron, oh my gosh, this is gonna. Matt Brown's about to roll his eyes real hard. Cameron Young, your pre-tournament favorite, still your favorite, plus 980. Second shot on the board now. Keegan Bradley, 12-1. You want to get in on some Keegan 12-1?
12-1 Keegan.
Doesn't that feel like an aggressive...
half the field hadn't teed off yet.
It's an aggressive adjustment. Don't worry, it continues. Ricky Fowler is 16-1. He is third on the odds board.
They're not saying a lot about this field.
This is tournament winner I'm looking at, right? This is not round leader. This is tournament leader I'm looking at. Just checking that. Wyndham Clark, who is, 2 or 3 under? He's off to a pretty good start. He's 2 under par. He's at his pre-tournament odds of 22-1. I don't really know if I get that separation. Jackson Coyven, same thing, 22-1. Patrick Cantlay, 24-1. And Chris Goddard up 24-1, who I think I just saw made a bogey. He's 1 under par.
Currently gaining a stroke and a half off the tee is Peter Malnati, who has lost off the tee in 12 straight tournaments. So if you're looking for a regression candidate, let me point you in the direction of Peter Malnati.
Okay, I mean, I'd like to wholeheartedly agree with you, but this is what I keep thinking of, and this is what really messed with our heads this week with this course, right? It's how much tougher is the course, and this was one of the easier places to drive and to gain off the tee.
Currently gaining 1.64 on approach. He has lost in 8 of his last 9 tournaments on approach.
Yeah, okay. That one I expect the aggression from a little bit more.
So just saying, probably not going to look up and see him at the top of the leaderboard after tomorrow, but. Hey, run like the sun today, buddy.
There you go. That's
Cash someone a fat first-round leader ticket.
Let's do it. I did, so I bet 4 here small. I bet Goddard up, Keegan, and Grillo all out there right now, and then I have Ben Griffin at 50-1 who tees off here in about 2 hours. He's in that afternoon wave here later. So Ben Griffin for me, outright top 20 and first-round leader.
Okay. Yeah, I mean... I did say this, and the only problem is this probably won't be the case this afternoon, but I saw an approach shot when I was walking in here, and obviously on the gigantic screen behind us out here at Circa, you can see things even better. I mean, it put a ball mark in the green, like half a ball deep. Like, it seemed like they are soft and receptive right now, which is probably why some of these guys, if their irons are working today, are scoring low early here.
It would also make sense if it is if it is windy out there, like I've seen a couple, that doesn't look too bad in this shot right now, right? But there's been a couple of shots where it's looked pretty windy, so that would make a little bit more sense. Maybe those greens are so soft, the wind's not affecting these approach shots too much.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, it's where did he? Okay, all right.
Pretty good, Koiven.
Yeah,
pretty good. Are you surprised at all?
Pretty good at golf.
I was surprised by this. So I guess of how many questions I've gotten, either on other shows, podcasts that have hopped on here over the past few days, or just from random golf fans about Jackson Koiven. Like, I'm a little surprised just because we've had a lot of talented young golfers come up here over the past few years. I get it; he's younger than most.
A little more decorated than most,
and a little more decorated than most. But
he's won 7 times over the last year. That's not counting the PGA Tour win. That'd be 8 times. Like, he won 7 times in college the last year.
And it's like what, 7 top 10 finishes on the tour in the past year or something. I get it, but I'm like, man, everybody's kind of talking about him after that one win. It's great for golf.
No, it definitely is. And like we said, this is I don't know if it's ever been deeper.
Yep.
Like golf, and this is taking nothing away from Tiger's era or anything like that, but I continue to say this, like, when Tiger teed it up, there were maybe 8 to 10 guys that could beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Every time someone tees it up in any of these tournaments, we're 40 deep now. Like, we're 40 deep of, like, very quality, high-level players, everyone from the super experienced all the way down to a guy like Jackson Koiven, who can compete, who can go toe-to-toe with those guys.
Yeah, and just beat out Scotty Scheffler to win a golf tournament, right? It's really impressive. I think I'm going to use the course not knowing about it, Matt, as a little bit of an excuse here, but the bets I will be monitoring this week that I did not make, Xander Schauffele even money top 20 in this field. I was like, that feels too easy. I didn't bet it, but I was like, that feels a little too easy here. And then, if there is, I felt like it was a little bit. I think Jackson Koiven's going to be great. I think he's got a lot of wins in front of him. But where he was at in the odds board was there maybe some value going up against him in some tournament matchups.
Right.
And I think there probably was, and I didn't end up firing on any of them. So I will be monitoring those very closely.
Yeah, I mean, like, Wyndham Clark's 2 under. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, anytime you're under par, it's a good round. But, I mean, everybody's not lighting this thing up.
He also just got lucky on it. Didn't he hit the lip of that bunker?
Yeah, and like
it's still in the green. You hit a terrible bunker shot.
Like, here's Xander playing out of a bunker and all this. There's this. It doesn't seem like it's like go out there and it's a putt course or anything like that. So, whatever, we'll monitor. We got a couple more
Mr.
hours.
Peacock, Malnati.
That's why
yellow ball, long sleeves, bucket hat.
That's why
Xander.
That's why Xander and Wyndham are struggling. They don't have a yellow ball. Maybe tomorrow they come out with a yellow ball.
You gotta get the bucket hat. Keep the wind off your neck.
I mean, he's throwing darts. No, I mean that's what I'm saying. He's throwing darts. He's gonna make that too. He's gonna get to 9 under.
Right.
Yeah, he's gonna make that too. He's gonna get to 9 under. It's absurd.
Congratulations to you, Peter Malnati, first round leader bettors.
Guys, tomorrow is your last day to lock in early bird pricing on our football special. So $175 now through the Super Bowl. And you're going to get the NFL betting guide that's already out. You'll get the updated NFL betting guide. We have the college football release that is coming out next week. That betting guide may be the most important thing that we do. You have no idea where these kids play now. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
You might not even know what conference teams are in.
I was going to say, that's the bigger one for me.
So this is the big one. That comes out next week. Then, on top of that, we're giving you another bonus here in this, which is the Fantasy Life Fantasy Football Guide. So go in. All these 425 different player profiles are in that thing. They got the projections. They got the rankings. So get you ready for your fantasy draft as well. So full access to VSiN Pro now through the end of the Super Bowl, $175, VSiN.com/subscribe.
We get tweets, Matt.
Yeah.
Johnny Brock trying to make us feel a little bit better for Peter Malnati. He tweets in, Malnati is a neighbor of my brother. Great guy. Great putter. He won last year, so he's capable.
Great
guy, great putter.
Here's the deal. And it's actually the neighbor part is even better. Hey,
it really is.
Hey, he knows he's a great guy because he lives next door to him.
He's probably had beers with him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he actually knows. This isn't just like, hey, I'm going to call this guy a great guy just because like he seems like he's a great guy. This is a neighbor.
His brother knows for sure.
His brother knows.
If he hasn't met him, his brother knows for sure. And the Buddhist man, are you guys going to have Gil on as a guest on the show to divulge his August most wins play? Breaking news. Gil Alexander coming out of vacation. I was going to say retirement, but coming out of vacation.
Vacation-tirement.
Vacation mode. Coming out of vacation mode to hop on a camera to talk about August most wins tomorrow on the show.
Tomorrow. Well, not with me.
Nope, not with you.
Yeah. I'm going to be interested to see how he's going to handle that. I mean, like, I kind of looked at it a little bit, but the problem is I mean, you're not throwing darts, because we do know we do know who are definitely not sellers. So I mean, it's like, if you wanted to take one of the Rays, the Yankees, the Braves, the Dodgers, the Brewers, like, we know they're all buyers, not sellers, and whatever, and all of that. Like, that's 100%. But like, there's only a handful of teams that you definitely know what they're doing.
Yeah, this is no, man. Dodgers do not have an easy schedule, at least to start the month.
Yeah, or any sort of impact that any of the moves that they're actually going to get could possibly make. So
yeah, be a little careful.
Be curious to see how he's going to handle it. That's for sure. When we come back, our very own Zach Cohen on all things sports, but definitely some college football.
Over 3,500 circus survivors were on the Rams, and in an excruciating game, the Rams lost.
The carnage has arrived.
It's got to be the most disgusting survivor loss in the history of this tournament.
Never bet Thursday night game.
It just rips you apart.
That's the worst survivor loss anyone could ever suffer.
The team of death has arrived for 2025.
New episodes Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN. Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the sports betting network.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers game here on VSiN. Matt and for Gil. Kelly, we were looking here, and this leaderboard. He did make the birdie, but so
yeah,
nine under through 13 holes.
Would you rather bet
with no eagles, by the way? So that is 9 birdies in 13 holes.
Would you rather bet right now live Keegan Bradley at 15-1, Ricky Fowler at 17-1, or Peter Malnati at 20-1?
Ricky, because just at least that way I could root for someone that I want to root for.
You actually want to win? Okay.
Yeah, because none of the three are going to win.
I wouldn't bet any of those, by the way.
Yes.
I'm bringing them up because I don't think any of them are good bets now.
No, none of the three of them are going to win, so we at least know that. Head out to the guest line. Our very own Zach Cohen going to join us here. You can find his work every single day over on VSiN.com at Betting on X on the Twitter machine. Zach, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We are rocking and rolling. I mean, we said it's officially football season, so I mean,
right.
You get to this point, you get to the end of July, we get the free pass to talk football all the time.
Yep, absolutely.
It's when Zach Cohen has to stop writing about tennis, NBA things, and has to start writing about football.
Yeah, he can
whatever
no longer
day that is. He needs to launch. He needs to shoot a flare up.
Yeah,
let us all know.
Yeah, he can no longer write about 100 tournaments or whatever, anything like that. He's just like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get into some football here. And by the way, you did do that with the college football guide that comes out next week. Kelly and I continue to say this. We've said this every year for basically ever since we've been doing this. Probably the most valuable one that we do put out, considering now with the transfer portal, the coaches moving all over the place, the position battles, all the stuff that's going on. I mean, it is trying to figure out even who plays for who and what does that mean is where you got to start, at least, and the guide will help you do that.
Yeah, the guide is tremendous. We all do, great work on it. And like you said, so much is changing from year to year. Like UCLA is just James Madison now. Like you need to know this stuff. So we have you covered with all the transfers, with everything that's happening. It's really, really important that you are looking for help before betting on college football now.
Yeah, we need it as much as anybody. Okay, I know one of the conferences that you drew up was the Big 12. Biggest takeaways from the Big 12 as we head into the season?
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to go in and not really have Texas Tech. I just feel like everybody has them, but it is really difficult when you look at their schedule. They really don't have any clear losses when looking at that thing. So the over for them at 10.5 is -200, and it's for good reason. And I did see a lot of our experts and, kind of proofing the college football betting guide have Texas Tech to win the Big 12. But I actually do think it's going to end up being BYU. I think that BYU has a tougher road to get there. Getting to the actual Big 12 championship game will be a challenge, but I just kind of feel like you look at that team, and Kalani Sitake has done such a good job with his alma mater, and he now has kind of the funding to go to war with some of these big brands in college football. And I do think that team brought back a ton of talent from last year, including running back LJ Martin, who's one of the best in the country. They beefed up their offensive line. Bear Bachmeier will be a sophomore, not a freshman. I think that's going to be huge as he looks to take some steps forward as a passer, because last year he was really good as a runner and just kind of above average as a passer. I think this year he kind of makes a leap as a thrower. And defensively, I have no concerns about that team. Even with the defensive coordinator having moved on, I do think this is going to be a team that does make the college football playoffs. So I have BYU over 8.5 wins, and I also have them to make the playoff.
So, Zach, when we look at the odds currently, -105 on Texas Tech to win the Big 12, BYU 550, Utah 650, and then everybody else 14-1 or longer. Does your opinion of Texas Tech change because of the Sorsby thing, or is it just the entire team as you look at them that you just kind of think, okay, at the price given, maybe a little vulnerable to a team like BYU?
Yeah, so with Texas Tech, I wrote this up in the guide, but I have no worries about them in the regular season. I think that no matter who is under center for them, they should be fine. My concern with Texas Tech is that you see something very similar to last year where they dominate the Big 12 regular season, they get to the postseason, and that's where they begin to struggle. I think that if they play BYU in that Big 12 championship game, they'll lose because of their quarterback situation. And I think that if they go to the college football playoff, which they really should, that's where they might get beaten down in a similar fashion to what they did last year. I don't really believe in the quarterback options. I think that even if Will Hammond is healthy, I don't think that's the guy that they want under center. Obviously, they went out and paid Sorsby for a reason, and it didn't work out. Now you have a starter in there that you really proved that you don't believe in very much, and also he's coming off a torn ACL, so it's not the greatest situation in the world for them.
Zach, is there a team that's a little bit further down on the board, let's say starting at a Kansas State and getting a little bit deeper after that, a team that you think has a chance to surprise, make some noise in a good way this year, maybe make the playoffs?
Yeah, I think that would be Houston. I think the Houston 16-1 would be kind of the flyer you'd want to take. I have them to win over 7.5 games. It's like minus 155, a little bit juicy, but they returned 19 starters from last year. They won double-digit games last season. And Willie Fritz has just been a great coach pretty much everywhere he's been throughout his college career. And it did not take him very long to turn this Cougars team around. They are already looking like a contender in the Big 12. And I just think if Connor Wegman has a good season under center, they should be really strong. And if not, and they can find a way to kind of get out of his poor games unscathed, they have the number one quarterback in the country in the freshman class. So it's a really interesting situation there that they're going to be battling with all season, where if they, do want to turn away from Wegman and opt for more upside, it is an option. But that team is completely loaded on both sides of the ball with experience, with talent. And, people have been saying for years that Houston is a sleeping giant in college football. And now we've kind of seen them wake up a little bit.
Talking to our very own Zach Cohen. Zach, we had Adam Burke in earlier in the week, and he let us know that you were also working on the Heisman section here in the guide. And so want to head over to that market. Short shots being CJ Carr and Arch Manning, two of the teams that are obviously favored to have very good seasons and perhaps maybe even go very deep in the playoffs, if not win it all. Then you kind of get into the Dante Moores, projected to be a high draft pick. Makes a ton of sense. Oregon getting a lot of love as well at 10-1. Sayin at 12, Mensa at 12, 13 for Hoover, 13 for Trinidad Chambliss, Jeremiah Smith's at 14. I mean, there is just an absolute log jam here in that kind of middling range as well. When you dug in, I think that we've all come to the conclusion we understand the straight line for CJ Carr and Arch Manning. We get it. But as we look at some of these other guys, people don't want to put a 7 or a 7.5 to 1 in their account and have their money locked up for 6 months. So where's somewhere else to look?
Yeah, and I'll say this about Carr and Manning, which is something I wrote up in the guide. Like, a betting favorite has not won the Heisman Trophy since Marcus Mariota did it. So that's not to say that they can't, but it does tend to go to somebody a little bit lower on the board. And I do think that Darian Mensah is the player that I'd be looking at sort of near the top. I just think that there's such a proven track record now of talented quarterbacks going to Miami, playing in that Shannon Dawson offense, and absolutely lighting it up. And I just think that Mensah is probably the most polished option of all of them coming into the season. I mean, what he did at Duke last season with what I believe was a poor offensive line was sensational. And now he heads to Miami, where he's going to have a really big group up front, really talented wide receivers, including his top receiver from Duke who transferred over. I think he's going to have a really big season for a really big brand. And I think that Miami wins the ACC this year, and he gets a lot of credit for it. So Mensah at 12-1 is a number that really shot out to me. I feel like he should be right there with Carr and Manning when you're looking at the top of the board.
I'm going to go off the page and ask you about the quarterback of a team you brought up when you were talking about Big 12. Bear Bachmeier, man. That's a name that just jumps off the page, Zach. Bear Bachmeier got a chance at all?
Bachmeier is probably a decent flyer. He wasn't one of my 4 picks to win it, but his rushing upside definitely gives him a chance. Like, if BYU ends up having the season that I think that they could have, they go like 10-2 and potentially beat Notre Dame in a game that will be played at home. I think a lot of people are kind of ruling out BYU winning that game. I think they have a really good chance of doing so. But yeah, I think Bachmeier has a really solid chance just based on what BYU might be able to do this season. If we want to go a little bit further down the board, though, and I know I've heard Dustin Sweetelson say this as well, it's not exactly a hot take. I feel like everyone's kind of come to this conclusion. But Drew Mestemaker, the quarterback for Oklahoma State, led the nation in total passing yards last year, and he is now going to be playing in the Big 12 for the coach that coached him at North Texas last year. And I don't know exactly what the team success would have to look like for the Cowboys in order for him to actually get into this conversation. But we've seen players win at 8-4. So I think if that is the mark, it is realistic. And I think Mestemaker is going to be one of the best passers in the country in this, leap up in competition. So not really worried about him translating to the Big 12. And I think that that's somebody to worth the flyer. I think it's 75-1. So if you want to just put a little something and just hope for the best, I think that's the best kind of longer shot you could take.
Zach, last 30 seconds here as you've kind of shifted your brain into college football mode. We see these teams at the top with the short odds Everybody's talking about Notre Dame. Everyone thinks Notre Dame's going to get it done. You have a couple of SEC teams get thrown in there as well. Who do you think eventually takes this whole thing down?
I think it's going to be Texas. I've always been an Arch Manning guy. I think that last season, towards the end of the year, he really played very, very well. I know that the beginning of last season was ugly, but this team kind of addressed the needs that they had last season. I think the offensive line is going to be a lot better. I think his group of wide receivers is going to be much better. And I like the hiring of Will Muschamp. So there might be 2 or 3 regular season losses, but I think Texas gets in. And I think that they're the most dangerous team once they do get it.
He's Zach Cohen. Find him every day over on VSiN.com. Zach, appreciate the time, buddy, and good luck.
Thanks, guys.
If you haven't done so already, episode 2 dropped of the